friends, Tracy Bish here, Stampin Up demonstrator in Central Victoria, Australia. Welcome to the global monthly video, Christmas in July, which is super exciting. I'm so excited for all the projects this month as an added bonus on top of July's hop. So if you're new here, the global monthly video hop gets together each month. We are Stampin Up demonstrators from around the world, and we have a new theme each month, which is so fun to join the hop, the video hop on YouTube, and see what everyone's created. This is a little bonus extra feature for Christmas in July. We've got some new July online exclusives that has both Halloween and Christmas products in it. And we're going to showcase with you some beautiful products that are out this month with Stampin' Up. This is a double fan fold card, absolutely gorgeous. Sits down on this like here. You can also stand it up, which is really pretty. There's plenty of room to write on the back, and this is such a fun card to create. It does fold flat down, so you can pop it in an envelope, a slimline envelope, and pop it through the mail. I don't know, to me this one's probably more of a hand delivered. There is a little bit of bulk with it, but it's an absolutely gorgeous card, and I hope that you'll give it a go once you've seen how easy it is to create. So for the products that I've used with this card, we have some beautiful DSPs in the online exclusives. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Stitched Season 12x12. This is perfect for scrapbookers, quilters, craft makers. You know, it's for everyone. Every couple of years, Stampin' Up do a patchwork themed suite sort of thing, and this one is nothing short of what they've done previously. Really pretty. So the coordinating colours on this one are Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Peaceful Pine, Peach Pie, Real Red, and Secret Sea. One side has the quilt versions, which I'll go through really quickly before we get going on the card. Now these are available in my online store if you live in Australia, or with your demonstrator right now as the online exclusives. So they're all the patchwork sides, and then we turn them over and we have these gorgeous designs. So we've got snowflakes and flowers. We've got like a red, I'm not sure what that design is, sort of like 5 dots. We've got candy canes for Christmas. We've got hollies and berry, and then we have this beautiful Peaceful Pine plaid, which is what we're using on today's card. So those are the 6 designs. You get 2 sheets of each. I'm also featuring this gorgeous paper where you can get 4 sheets in the pack. This is called Shimmering Struts 12x12 Specialty Design Series paper. And oh my goodness, look at that shine and beautifulness that comes in this paper. So we are using that. You might not have seen it in the card. It looks so much better in real life, but you can see it here in the background with the die cut. I've also have it matting the DSP here as well. And look, it doesn't really pick up so well in photos or with in the camera, but in real life you can see it. It shimmers and sparkles and it's so pretty. So those are the 2 papers that we're using. I'm also using the Pretty Poinsettia bundle. This comes as a bundle, save yourself 10%, which is awesome. 13 stamps. These are nice big sentiment stamps, and then great dies that go with it. And I really love these ones here. As you can see, there's so much detailness in the embossed version of the die. So pretty. And I've also brought in a good old faithful, the Spotlight on Nature dies. We're using the largest and the 3rd largest die, so I'll show you those as well. I have made it a little bit easier for me in quickly die cutting a lot of things, so I'll go through those measurements and the supplies in just a second. We have a beautiful real red and white stitched ribbon. We had one of these a couple of years ago. So pretty. So we're using some of that, just a little bit as an accent. We have Real Red and Peaceful Pine ink. I'm also using Versamark and white embossing powder. And then lastly, let's bring our kit here ready to go. So we have this beautiful DSP. We have 2 pieces. One is 2.5 by 6.5 inches. Then we have 2 pieces that are 1 inch by 2 3/4. So I'll pop them to the side. We have Peaceful Pine cardstock, 1.5 by 1.5 for that die cut, and this is the 3rd largest die cut that we're using. And I've already quickly die cut that large leaf as well. So that's that one there. Then we have our Shimmering Stripes DSP. We have a 4x4 piece that I've die cut with that largest Spotlight on Nature dies. Look at that, so pretty. Move that over to the side. We have 2 pieces that measure 1 1/4 by 3 inches. And then I just had a little scrap that I die cut the little centers to the poinsettia as well. So I have one here. I know I will lose them before we get round to that. So move that to the side and hopefully we don't lose. I think I've already lost one. So there we go. Then we have 2 pieces at 1 1/4 by 6 1/4. We have a piece of Real Red at 2 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then a piece for die cutting. And as you can see, I've die cut each one of these poinsettia dies. So hopefully I'm saving a bit of time on this video, otherwise it would have been a really long video. So we have those pieces die cut out of just some scrap, and if you're like me, you have a ton of Real Red cardstock left over from previous Christmases. So then we have those ones, and then our card base measures 9 by 7 inches, and that is basic white thick. So we'll come back to this and do our folding. We might start popping all these things together. Now quickly too, I'm using also a new product from the new catalogue. I grabbed the shimmer brush in Peaceful Pine. I thought these would look so good with my Christmas themed projects, and look at the sparkle and shine in that. So I'll show you how that is used as well. Okay, so let's bring in all our little pieces. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to stamp the sentiment on the Peaceful Pine die cut circle, and I do have all these little pieces here that I've got to pop through. It's the only problem with this die is there's lots and lots of little confetti pieces that will make a little bit of a mess, but I love the design in these, you know, it gives it a great look. You could also use your die brush if you have one of those. Mine sits in the cupboard and I always forget about it until I start doing a video and there's lots of little die cut pieces like this to come out. Anyway, okie dokie. We have all those pieces. And for the sentiment on this one, I'm going to be using the 'Tis the Season. And because we're going to heat emboss, I'm going to also use my embossing buddy to get a good solid image. So 'Tis the Season. Let's bring in some Versamark ink, and I'm just going to stamp it down the bottom middle with the Versamark ink. So it is a clear sticky ink that our embossing powder is going to stick to and make it really easy for the powder to stick before we heat emboss it. So hopefully everyone is having a really great day. Hope you're enjoying the Christmas in July series that we're bringing you. I know that my friends will be having some really great ideas and project for you. So I'm just going to hit that with the heat tool to melt that powder. So all the video links will be, I think, in the description of this video. So please go over and check those out. While you're there, please hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And I would love it if you could hit that notification bell, share the video to your friends and family, and anyone that likes creating beautiful things, especially for Christmas. There we have it. Nothing better than white embossing on cardstock, especially dark cardstock. It really stands out. You do want to make sure that that is not hot anymore. Let it cool down and then just go over it and get rid of that powder. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to add all my flowers pieces together. Let's see if I can find that shimmery white piece that we need. Oh, there you go. Both of them are stuck there, so that's good. All right. So we're just going to layer these over themselves. And I'm sure there is a way to do this properly. Yeah, I like that. And for that, I'm just going to use some mini glue dots that will help with the placement. That's those two. Put this one down. I'm wondering how many people start their Christmas projects in July. I know Christmas comes around so fast that if you don't sort of get started on it, it can really just take over, and you're then rushing. So it's great that Stampin' Up are bringing some products out to get you started early for your Christmas. Looks good, doesn't it? You can also fold these up a little bit if you would like. I left mine pretty flat, but it's pretty easy to lift them up a little bit. They have really great detail with the embossing with the die. Okay, so that's going to go there. I'm also going to bring in that glitter brush, or shimmer brush, sorry. We should call it by the right name. These come in all 5 of the in colours, which is pretty cool. I thought I did get to play with it at On Stage in March, and they were really great to play with. I put it off, but I really love Peaceful Pine, and I thought it would be perfect for Christmas. When you get them, you just have to pull this part apart, like our Wink of Stella, and there is a little white plug that's there. You just take that off, and then you can just push in this section here, and that brings that ink down. Ink, the sparkles anyway. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to glide it over the cardstock, and can you see the difference there? Wow. No shine, dull, and then so much shine and sparkle. So we're going to do that with all of our petals here. And I was so happy that this worked out so well. Exactly how I thought it would turn out. So rather than just have that one large leaf here, what I've done is we're going to cut it down a fraction and have like it's 2 leaves, 2 lots of leaves. 2 lots of leaves, speak correctly. All right, so to do that, I'm just going to cut it off here like so, and that gives us those two areas. I'm going to add them down with a glue dot. I'm just going to pop a glue dot down there. And I found it was easy to put it in position because your poinsettia might be a little bit different every time you put it together, unless there is an actual way that it's supposed to be put down, and I haven't worked that out yet, but it may be different. So if you just place it where you like it, and then depending on where your leaves are, you can then add your leaves of the poinsettia, you can then add your leaves down over the top. So it's all nicely spaced out, and that didn't pick up the glue dot. Try that again. There we go. Like that. So pretty. And I'm also going to pop this up on our label here. But because this is all a little bit flimsy, you can either add more glue dots, or you could bring in your liquid glue. That would work as well. I'm so excited for Christmas crafting. I am in the process, as I'm filming this video, starting my Halloween Spooktacular series, which I did last year. I love creating Halloween projects, so that's so fun. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. I'm going to pop a couple of dimensionals down. I have some here over on my desk. So we're going to add some of those down. I do still have to add that center, so don't let me forget that. I'm popping a couple of dimensionals down on those leaves as well. And there's nothing, none of those dimensionals are going to be over the top of this either. So let's just bring those backings off. So if you don't have this set, or you know, you could certainly make this card still with whatever you have in your stash. Look at that. Now there's actually, this die cuts out two sizes of the centers. I used the small one in my sample card, but I think I'm going to use the large one because that looks good. Just sort of fits it a little bit better than the smaller one. And I'll just roll around that mini glue dot a little bit and place that down in the center. Okay, with that ribbon, I just took a little bit of a length. So what would that be? 5 or 6 inches. And I'm actually going to secure it underneath. And to do that, I popped one mini glue dot in between to keep that secured together. And then I'm going to pop one on the back. Oh, I just took it off. There we go. And then I found it really easy to just attach it to the end of my Take My Pick tool, and then pop him in underneath and push down. And somehow I've gotten a mini glue dot behind here, so let's pick that up before it gets stuck everywhere. How good does that look? That would look so good on a box, on a card, just a plain card. And yeah, I think that would be a nice little set as well. You could also use it as a tag. Isn't that cute? Okay, I'm going to pop this on that other, what was this called? Shimmering Stripes DSP. And I'm going to pop it up because I want it to, you know, have that definition behind it. And then we've almost, well, we have done our focal piece then. So then we can start on our card making. Pop him down in the center. Look, can you see that sparkle and shine behind? So pretty. All right, let's move that to the side. We are going to bring in our white piece of basic white thick, 9 by 7 inches. And this is where we're going to start scoring. Pop that to the side just for a minute. Okay, we're going to need to score it on the 9-inch side, so the largest side. And we're going to score it at 1.5 inches. Three inches. 6 inches. And 7.5 inches. Okay. Now you're going to need a stylus with this, and I recommend a metal ruler because we do need to do a little bit of scoring. So we have the 1.5 inch and 3 inches. At the 3-inch mark, we are going to score from the 3-inch mark to the very left-hand side corner. Okay, so from 3 inches to left-hand side corner of the card base, like so. Then we're going to take the 3 inches from the bottom and score from the top left-hand side. There we go. 1.5, 3, 6. From the 6, which is really hard on this paper, but it's the 3rd score line along, we're going to score from that corner to the very bottom right of the card. And then from the top right of the card to that 6-inch score line. It's very hard to see in this lighting. Pop that there. Move it over. I'm going to score that line as well. Okay. So effectively you have a larger rectangle in the center, then you've got the 2 small rectangles on each side, and you're scoring from those 2 long rectangles on each side, there and there. And then you've got these center points in the middle. Okay, for these score lines now, we're going to score all the rectangles down. Like so. And then the diagonals, we're going to score bringing the card forward. Hopefully that makes sense. So to the center of the card for the diagonals, and for the others, you're scoring to the back. Okay. And then as you manipulate, and if you do it gently, fold together perfectly. So again, all the score lines down that you made, fold them back on the card, and then the diagonal score lines that we make after, you're folding them forward in the card, and then just squeeze them in, creates our little card base here. Okay, before we start decorating, I want to move it to the back because I made this mistake. I put everything together and then tried stamping it, and I didn't get a good clean image. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that stamp set and create our image right now before we start decorating the front. So I'm going to use my Peaceful Pine ink, and we're going to use Christmas Joy. Now I've done this for birthday cards before, so you know, it doesn't have to be a Christmas card, it could be anything. But what a fun fold, like it's just so pretty. I'm going to bring in my Real Red, and we're going to stamp a poinsettia. So let me bring that stamp set back in to show you. So you've got some really great images here that you can stamp. So highly recommend using them as well. You don't always have to do the die cuts. So I've got the poinsettia, which is beautiful and bright. I'm also going to be using my Daffodil Delight ink as well. So Peaceful Pine, we're going to add a few of these pine sprigs. Let's do 2. I can always come back. And then they have a leaf as well. I'm going to add one of those leaves there. Another one there. I'm going to add one of these as well. Nice. Let me grab my Daffodil Delight. Have that somewhere. I was using on another card. And I'm just going to add my little center with the Daffodil Delight. So pretty. Look at that. Feels a little off kilter. I feel like I have to add maybe another one of these just here. I don't know whether that's fixed it or not. Maybe I should have just left it. Anyway, it's fine. It's still going to look good. Plenty of room to write. Let's start decorating. So on the front, we have all our little pieces. We are going to have to cut some of them. So we've got the 2 shimmering stripes that are 1 1/4 by 3. I need those ones to cut. I also need these 2 pieces of the DSP that are 1 by 2 3/4. They can just go there, and then we have to cut these 2 pieces of Real Red, which are 1 1/4 by 6 1/4. Okay. I'm going to move this to the side just for a second. Let's bring our paper trimmer back in. And we have, these are our mattings over the DSP. Okay, so you can do it, no, you can't do it that way. Forget what I just said. What we're going to do, on one piece we're going to cut from the top left to the bottom right. On the other one we're going to do the cutting from the top right to the bottom left. Okay, so let's do that. And because these are not big pieces, I'm actually bringing my blade down to the center and starting in the center, and that will make sure that I don't end up ruining my corners. Okay, so I've done the top left. I need to do the top right to the bottom left now. Bring it to the center, up and down, and we've got those perfect cuts. Okay, move those to the side. We're going to do the same with that DSP. So top left to bottom right. What's everyone's colours for Christmas going to be this year? Are you going to incorporate Peaceful Pine? I think it's going to be my go-to colour because it is my favourite green right now. I need to bring that to the centre, but make sure it's in the right spot. It's definitely my favourite green right now. If I could get my fingers to stop moving the DSP, that would be fantastic. Okay. And top right to bottom left. Oop. Starting at the center again, just so we protect our corners. Okay, we have those pieces. So those are the matting and the DSP. In the real red long strips, these are for the sides here. And these are 1 inch, no, 1 1/4 by 6 and, what did I say? 6 1/4. So we need to find the middle point, which is going to be 3 1/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to do a little pencil mark on that side and do the same on this side here as well. So 3 1/8, which is half of 6 1/4. Now for this, we need to create a triangle on both sides. So for that, where is my little mark? It is right there. So I'm going to do from the mark to the bottom right and bottom left. Center. Okay. And then the other side. So it's creating a little triangle here. Like that. And we need one for the other side. So I've flipped that little mark this way. And we're going to cut from this center out. And that's going to give us the opposite to this one. So lining up in that tract. And again. Okay. And you could use these on another card. You've got little triangles for something else. Now it looks like I need a new blade. It's not really bad, but it has left a little bit of fuzz on that. So for that, I'm just going to run my sander down and make sure, make sure I get a nice image. Now in my sample, you could certainly leave it just completely red. I've taken red ink, and in that stamp set there is a little set of 3 flowers. We're going to come in and just stamp those down on those 2 pieces, making sure that I keep them the right way. Bring our real red back in, and we're just going to randomly stamp these along. But to give it a little bit more interest, you could also use Versamark ink and give you that watermark look. which does look good as well. Okay, that looks good. This one now. You can turn your stamp around. That will give you a little bit of a different look as well. So perfect. Look at that. Okay. We're ready to start decorating the card. We've got all our pieces done. Okay. Making sure this is up the right way. That would be bad, wouldn't it? I'm going to grab my two front pieces, which was the Real Red and the DSP, and I'm just going to use some liquid glue to adhere that all down. I love the traditional red, green, silver or gold. I think, you know, can't really go past that, can you? I also love incorporating more funky colours in for Christmas as well, every now and again. Just for something different, something a little fun. We're just lining that up in the centre. We're going to pop these large triangles down on the very edges. I have a little bit of glue there. Hopefully I'll have to use my glue eraser and pick some of that up. More glue and the right side. Okay. And then we can start layering our silver and green together. Just lining them all up, then we'll come in and pop down the adhesive. Okay. So if you're going to give this a go, I would love you to share your project with me. You can share on my social media. You can send me an email with a picture if you'd like to do that, or message me. I would love to see what you're creating. Also, let me know in the comments section what stamp set or what DSP would you use. I think with this specialty paper, in the past with specialty papers, Stampin' Up, I've only put like 2 sheets in. And if there was only 2 sheets, because there's actually 4 sheets in there, if there was only 2 sheets, I don't know whether I'd use the matting with that. But 4 sheets we've got plenty of use there. Sorry, that's my German Shepherd barking. She must have heard something outside. My hubby's away on at a meeting, and she's hyper vigilant when he's not here. Okay. And then we're right to just add, oh, that'll go there, and that one will go there. We can add all these pieces down. Now, you don't have to use white. I used white because I thought it would be too much with, you know, a red or a green. And I wanted that little bit of a contrast without it looking like there's too many layers. I really like how it turned out. But This would look really nice depending on what DSP or what cardstock you used. Having a coloured card base. I did do a it was a birthday one of these, and I used a coloured card. It was quite a few years ago, and we had that metallic foil in those funky blues, green and pink. So that was really nice. Yep. Okay, that's that down. Let's bring in that focal piece. And we're going to pop this one up with dimensionals. Get off this video and let her out, because obviously something's spooking her outside. And it's cold, so the back door's shut. I haven't got the heater on, but we've had rain all day and it's just a little too chilly to not have the back door shut right now. I think I can add a few more. I want to make sure that it's nice and supported. And I don't mind going a little bit overboard with these because they're super cheap. And I know that it's not going to sort of fall apart on who I give it to. Okay. Add that down to the center. I love how that turned out. That is so pretty. Such a gorgeous card. A real wow factor that anyone would absolutely love to receive this. Again, you know, you don't have to do it for Christmas. You could do it for birthday. You could do it for any occasion. And, you know, I'm so excited to see what everyone creates for Christmas in July. My name's Tracy Bish, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I would love it if you did. And please go and check out what everyone else is creating for the Global Monthly Video Hop of Christmas in July. There's also another, a week or so ago, we had July's video hop. So if you haven't seen that, you can go and check that out. But all the links are in the description of this video. I believe there will be a PDF with all the supplies and measurements, so you'll be able to download that. Yeah, and thank you so much for spending some time with me. It was a little bit of a longer video, but a really fun card, and I really hope that you're going to give it a go. Please share with me your cards that you create using this design. All right, everyone, have a lovely day, have a lovely night, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!